Hey everybody, welcome to Off the Hook Outdoors. I'm Ted, your host. Tonight is Halloween night. It's Friday. I am at camp. I'm going to go after one of them big bucks up at the food plot that Theo's been seeing. If you watch this video, you see that Theo had some issues of not getting the deer. He hit it good. We had a dog tracker in, and we couldn't find it. So this weekend, I'm going to hunt by myself. My dad's at home. My son's at home with his friends. So I'm going up in the blind myself. I think I'm going to sit up there all day tomorrow. The weather's looking really good. It's turning out to be a really good Saturday hunt, I'm thinking, because the storms came through the last 2 days, and today it was kind of crappy in the morning, and then in the afternoon it got nice, and then it got kind of crappy again with a little wind, and now it's blowing out. So I think tomorrow is going to be awesome for deer movement. I'm hoping they're going to be going and checking their scrapes because of that pear tree that's up there. There's always deer hitting that, and it's like a big community scrape. So I'm hoping to see something tomorrow that I can shoot. So the plan is to hunt all day Saturday, which is tomorrow, and then if I have to hunt Sunday morning, then I'm going to hunt Sunday morning, and then after the hunt of Sunday morning, I am going to bring my stuff down to camp, and then I'm going to go up and I'm going to walk the property to see if I can't find Theo's deer. If you guys have watched that video, you understand that deer has to be dead. Everybody I've talked to said that there was a kill shot. So I'm going to walk the property and see. We did have a dog tracker. They couldn't find it. I don't know if the dog tracker was on that deer's trail or another deer's trail. I just don't know. That was the first time I ever used a dog. So I'm just going to go up and walk it, and I'm going to put the wind in my face and see if I can't smell something, and I'm going to look for buzzards. Another thing is Carrie, his son Brian, he shot a buck last week down there, his first buck ever. Carrie's coming down tonight, so we're going to hunt. He's going to hunt the one end of the property, and I'm going to hunt the top. He's going to hunt the bottom tomorrow. So, but he's leaving tomorrow evening. So yeah, I'm going to make a fire here, probably grab something to eat, get a shower, scent-free shower with the Shield products. If you haven't checked out the Shield products, make sure you're going over and checking out Shield. And then tomorrow, I'm going to put up a scent trail with the ecstasy from Jinx Some Scents. So make sure you're checking out my link in the description of the video of my Jinx Some Scents, and I have a share code in there that you can save 10%. And then I also have the Shield website in there, so check them out as well. Great products. I've been using them for about 3 years now, and I use the body foam as my core deodorant at all times, and it really works well. So make sure you're checking that out. Shield and the Jinx Some products in the description of my video. All right, guys, well, we're going to settle down here. I'm going to unpack the food and everything, and I'm going to wait for Carrie to get here, and we're just going to relax, watch some TV, get to bed early. I want to be up in that stand early tomorrow. So, all right, guys, we'll see you in the blind. All right, guys, we got the fire going, and we're going to turn the TV on, and we are going to hang out and watch some TV and get to bed early. So, here we go. Alright, guys, it is about 7:20. I don't have much light in this blind to film, but I had 2 does feeding in the food plot about 10 minutes ago. But then he just spooked. Ran off to the right. I don't know what that was about, but I have a west wind at about 7 miles an hour. The barometric pressure is rising at 30.2. And it's clear skies. So the west wind is good. I think I'm going to sit all day to see what comes in. So we're going to head back to lunch, and we'll see what happens. So the only thing that my crossbow camera, I can't film when I have the camera on the crossbow shooting out of the blind. So once it gets totally light out, I got to figure something out. So alright, guys, we'll be back. about 5 minutes ago. I think it was a doe came down that path that those bucks come down all the time, but it stopped and looked in the field, and it went to the right, the way that Theo's buck, when he was hit, he walked. So I don't know if she's seen me or what. There's a deer coming right now. Yeah, it looks like a doe. We'll see. Hold on. Yeah, it's a doe with their two fawns, I believe. Thanks to my wife, I got a big bag. Those doors still over here. All three of them. They're at the end. But I'm surprised, no buck. But that's usually how it goes for old Dad. I bring everybody out and we see all kinds of bucks. Now, I'm ready to go. But we'll see if a buck shows up. I have a lot of confidence in this place. Alright, we'll be back. Alright guys, well, we had them doe here, so I decided to go live. If you haven't checked out the live go over, it's me deer hunting from the blind. I had seen a 5-point over to my right, and another buck came up over the hill, and it was a borderline shooter 7-point. It was nice. And they were over there, and I grunted, and the 7-point came in within 20 yards of me. And I was thinking about taking him, but he was standing there at broadside. I could have shot him. But what happened was I have to jinx him since I have the ecstasy out, and that is full-blown rut, or doe and estrus, full-blown, and it has some extra stuff in it. And he stood there, and I think he got a whiff of it, and he wasn't sure, and he like backed up and he walked away. And he walked straight up the gas line. If you want to see that footage, make sure you go over to my live that I just posted. And you'll see that one. Then the 5-point went out, and they left. So what I did was I rattled, and that 5-point come running in. So I got that on camera, on the live. And then it left, and I rattled again, and he came back in. So the deer are susceptible to rattling and grunting because I just grunted them in within range, and that 5-point keeps coming back every time I rattle. So I just ended the live a little bit ago. So make sure you go over and check that out. I'm gonna try to get some of that video in this some of my live in this video. But the deer are moving, so I'm just hoping that 10-point comes in, or the big 8. So we'll see. I'm going to go back and look at that footage and see. Alright guys, we'll be back. I'm here all day. I brought my lunch. Alright, we'll see you in a bit. Here he comes. He's coming. You'll see him in a second. Coming in. He's a big 7-point. If he comes in here, I think I'm going to shoot him. Get ready, boys and girls.
Guys, it's about 11:15. We had a bunch of action this morning. I passed up what I thought was a 7-point, but it was an 8-point because he has a little crab claw on his right side. He was right here at 20 yards, 22 yards. And then I seen that goofy 3-point to walk through. So we're gonna sit all day. It's like I said, it's about 11:15. I might grab a sandwich and eat, but I'm going to stay in the rest of the day just to see if something happens. And the reason why I'm doing that is because when Theo got his buck, or when he shot his buck, we waited till 12:30 to come up here to find it. And when we were coming up the hill at 12:30, right on this edge of this wood line to my right, there was a big deer that crashed through like it was moving midday. So I decided to stay in today before the rut, but just to see if something's like moving. In this pear tree that I have out here is like a community scrape, like a community hub, and I just want to see if something goes to there like midday and leaves a scent, because we had storms this week and it just cleared out yesterday. So I'm thinking the deer are going to want to come and maybe reapply their scent to that tree. So I'm going to stick around here all day and see what happens. But it's a beautiful day. A little breezy, but we got the wind out of the west. Clear skies, clear to cloudy skies. The barometric pressure is rising. That means deer should be on their feet. And the temperature was like 33 degrees this morning. So it's a little chilly, but it's supposed to warm up to like 55 or 60 degrees today. But we're just going to stay hunkered down in the stand all day and see what happens. So I'm looking forward to the evening for sure. If that 8-point comes back this evening, I may try to take him. I don't know yet, but he was right in front of me, and I did it on my live. So you can go over and check out my live that I did this morning. It's Deer Hunting from the Blind live, and that deer's on there. And then I rattled in a 5-point twice, which was pretty funny. But I grunted that 8-point right in within 20 yards of me. So we'll see what this evening brings. So, all right, guys, stay tuned. All right, guys, it is about 4 o'clock. I just got done doing my live, my part 2. We didn't see any deer, but you need to go to part 1 and watch that, because that happened this morning. So if you're seeing this video and you haven't watched it live, go over and check out my deer hunting from my blind part 1 and 2. So it's 4 o'clock right now, guys. I've been sitting since 6:15 this morning. Had a bunch of action. I passed up that 8-point. I thought it was a 7-point, but I saw it had a crab claw on the front right antler, the main beam. So if he comes out tonight, I might take him. But I'm hoping that 10-point comes out, or the big 8. So we're gonna sit here and see what happens. But I haven't seen a deer since 10 o'clock. And it's 4 o'clock. But it should be getting better. So we'll see what happens. Alright, guys, stay with me. Okay, guys, here we go. There is a doe coming out. food plot, just feeding. They're eating the pears and the rye, and also the big ones, tearing up the off the hook blend food plot here. We just need a big guy to come in. Those doe are just feeding around. Usually the bucks let them does in the field for a while. They let them check everything out, and then the bucks come in, so we'll see if anything comes in after these doe.
All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, no buck tonight. Seen 3 doe in the field just about all evening. They came out at like 5 o'clock and they stayed till dark, and then they walked behind me. Actually, the 2 fawns walked directly under the blind, so they were directly under me, and they walked down to the clover plot, and then the big doe went to the right and went down the hill. So got out of there and didn't spook anything, which was good. So I made my way down to the camp, and I am going to get undressed, get a shower, grab something to eat, watch TV, hit the sack, because tonight we turn our clocks back, so you lose an hour. So I got to get up there early tomorrow and do the same thing. So if you haven't checked out the lives from today, make sure you're going over and checking out the lives. It's called Deer Hunting My Blind. Off the Hook Live, Deer Hunting in My Blind, and there's part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is awesome. I passed up an 8-point. If I see him again, I may shoot tomorrow, but I don't know. So we'll see what happens. But there's a couple bucks this morning that I got on the live, so go check that out. It's pretty action-packed. The second one, there wasn't too much going on because I think I did it from like 3 to 4, so there wasn't really no action. So, yeah, make sure you hit the like. If you haven't subscribed, also do that. And I am going to put tomorrow's hunt on this as well. So we're going to have the 2 hunts this weekend, Saturday, Sunday hunts on here. So I hope you enjoyed it so far. Stay tuned for tomorrow's hunt. We'll see you. It is Sunday, November 2nd. It is 6:48. The sun is rising right now. I got into my stand about 6:15. So, the major times today are from 9:30 to 11:30. When I was coming in today, I got over to my blind and there was a deer in the thicket when I was coming into the right of the blind. And I heard it hop off, but it sounded like it was a small doe. You know, you could just hear it running, but it hopped away. It didn't bolt away, so I didn't scare it real bad. I haven't seen nothing in a blotch yet. But I talked to Bob this morning, and his brother Eric, his wife Karen, shot a monster in Ohio. They had a drone that they used yesterday, and I guess they got eyes on it, so they're gonna go find it today. I'm hoping to shoot a monster 180s today. We're just going to sit back and relax. The temperature is 38 degrees. We have an east wind, so it's blowing from my right to my left, about where that deer was. It's angled a little bit because Damn. I swear he wants to fight somebody. We need a big one to do that. Told you. Yeah, that 5-point is looking for a fight, man. When he gets bigger, he's going to be something to deal with. But he came right in. He went in and he come over here from the left, so I don't know. I wish one of them big ones would be so responsive. He went across the field, went to my right. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Alright, we'll be back. Alright, guys. It's about 5 after 8. That buck just came in. He came over from the left side. Caught me off guard, actually. He just came in. I grunted to him. He didn't care. It looked like it looked like an 8-point. I couldn't tell through the scope because he got behind the trees and kept walking. He was decent, but I don't know if he was a shooter. Alright, so that's good. See if something bigger comes in. He just ignored the grunt call, so I don't know if he was going where he was going. He just popped out right on the side here. I just see this rat coming. I don't think I've ever seen that deer before. Which is cool. So, alright, we'll be back. Alright guys, I got 2 doe in the blood. See if anything else
9:30 and 11:30, and them two came out right at 9:30. They're probably still in there in those woods. They like to mill around in there, and they may even bed down there because still bedding's pretty close to food. All right, we're gonna rattle. See what happens. All right, guys. Well, that's it for today's hunt. And that is the end of the video. So if you watched this far, I appreciate you. Had a good hunt, had a good weekend. I missed my son being here this weekend, but it was kind of nice to get out yourself as well. Makes you think of a lot of things when you stand by yourself. So, but yeah, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Hit that like and turn your notifications to all so you can be alerted when we upload new videos and do giveaways. Share us out. Appreciate that. And like I always say, take a kid fishing or hunting. We're going to preserve our sport and pass it on to future generations. And we will see you.